Okay, good morning to all of you. So the puja charm or feeling is there, or puja vacation mood is on for all of you, but still we need to go as per the class, the last class before the puja vacations of Linux programming, right? So without wasting much time, we will not waste much time and start our discussion of topic. So in yesterday's class, we have discussed about some commands, some file related commands that will help us to create a file, to copy some files, this type of related things. Now, continuing the discussion, today we will start with a command that is called CHOWN. CHOWN command. So this CHOWN command is nothing but we can say a system related command. Why system related? Because by using this particular command CHOWN, this particular command, by using it, we can change the authority of the user of a given directory or a file. Means we are changing the authorized person of a file and directory. So that's why we can say it is a system related command. So changing the file or directory permission or authorization, who is an authorized person, that can be handled by a system side. So this is a system command. So CHOWN, it is used to change the owner or the user of the file or directory, right? So no user can use this particular command. The user don't have any privilege to use this particular command. As I said, it is a system command, means only the system administrator or the root administrator have the authority to use this particular command, right? So CHOWN command is used for to change the right or the authority of a given user for a particular command or file or directory. Wait a minute. Okay. So what is the syntax for this? The syntax we can see here, that is the CHOWN. The options are available here. Some options we can see later on. The options are available here. New owner, file name and directory name. File name and directory name. Right. So what are the options available? What are the options available here? So the options that is available here, that is -R, -C and -F. So what is minus capital R? That is change the permission on files. That is change the permission on files that are in the subdirectories of the directory that you are currently in. First of all, I would like to tell you that whether I am clear, audible or not. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, fine. So minus capital R, that is changing the permission on files that are in the subdirectories of the directory. So suppose we are working on a current directory. Suppose the C directory we are working on. Now, to change the permission of the files that are available in our C directory or any subdirectory available in the C, to change the permission of it, that, so that's where comes the scenario that CHOWN minus capital R, then the file name or the directory name, whatever it is, right? Minus C is to change the permission of each file. So suppose there are n number of files are present, to change the permission of each file to grant an authority to a particular person of an each file. That's where the changing of the permission of minus C. And minus F prevents from displaying the error message when it is unable to change the ownership of a file. So that is a system side command, CHOWN. So any user should not know about the particular things. Any user don't have the right to know anything. So if there is an error, if there is a fault occurred, so in that particular case, the CHOWN minus F option will prevent from displaying the error message. The error message will not be displayed. So some examples are given here. That is, first one, chown hiox test.txt. So this test.txt is the file name or the directory name. Is test.txt is the file name or directory. We can see the syntax here. That is chown, this is the command, then file name or directory name, and in between that the new owner name. So that this HIOS, this is a user person name. Okay, suppose it can be ABCD, anyone. So chown, the new owner name, test.txt. So the file test.txt, those maybe it's have any other person have the privilege to it, but now after using this particular command, the authority of this particular file is changed to this particular person, to this particular user. So a simple command. One thing is here, that is the commands. Whatever the commands we are going to discuss, we can see the syntax of the commands. To write the commands, it is very easy. There is no long type of coding. We don't need to think too much. The syntax are very easy. What we need to do is to remember the command, that what command is used for what particular purpose, what commands and what options are available to use it when it is needed. Only we need to remember that particular thing. Otherwise, to write the command, to express the command, to write the syntax of the command, it is way too easy. Next one, chown, that is -r. So what is the option available for -r? That is changing the permission on files or directories of the subdirectories that we are currently in. So chown -r hiox.txt, that is the test is a directory of the root. Here now extension is written, that means it can be a directory. Whenever it will be a file, a directory, extension is needed. So a file, there will be an extension, but if there is not an extension, then it can be a directory. So this test, it is a directory, it is written here. The owner have been changed with the options of the files and subdirectory also gets it. So so suppose test is the main directory, right? And in this particular directory, there are several subdirectories and folders, files are available. So when we are using this -r command with the help of the chown command options, with using -r and the directory name that can be test. So whatever the options are available, whatever the subdirectories, files, folders are available under that particular directory, the total thing, the total authority or the right of the owner will be changed to that particular person who have written here, that is HIOX. Second one, -c. So minus is to change the permission for each file. So here calc.txt, that is a calculator program. We can say the calc.txt. Here the change of the particular file specific have been done, right? So we can change the file specific by using this term or also by something simply writing these things. Okay, so both the things are almost same. Now security for the file, we are using some things, and I am telling from the very first day that Linux is much more secure. Why secure? The security of the Linux is much higher. So that's why if any secure transaction, if any server, if anything is need to be handled, then the operating system of that particular thing is basically the Linux. So the command of the Linux, there is security for the files. There's some commands are available that is for security for the files. First one is chmod. Chmod, that is that change mod. That is the command to allows us to alter or the change access right to files and directories. So chown and chmod almost a same thing we can relate. Chown also the thing that can be is to write to choice of the authority to write any files or subdirectories, whereas the chmod is also the same, where we can alter or change the access of the rights to files of the directories. So the commands are quite similar, chown or chmod. So here are some options are available, that is the mode and the file name. Here the mode is basically, if we are talking about the mode, basically there are three modes, that is read, write, and read and write both. So either we can read, either we can write, or either we can read and write both. By combining this all of the things, there are some more things, some more commands options are available, that is some execution options are available. So these all commands by so the read, write, execute, and by the combination of read, write, and execute, several options, several mode of options have been available in the file. So a user or an authorized person can set up the permission of the file, whether that user, any user can, what is the privilege to check the file, whether the user can only have the write option, whether the user only have the read option, whether the user have read and write both option, whether it is read and execute option. So this permission can be set up. The permission can be set up. The users have the right to or the privilege to set up the mode, that on which mode the file can be accessed. So these are the options available. These are the permissions available. We can say that is execute only, write only, read only, and read and write only, write and execute only. Otherwise, all the permissions needed. So whatever the things that we can discuss, all the things can be present here. All the things can be accessed here, right? So this is not needed, this type of command. Now, coming to the next part, mkdir. Mkdir is for to make a directory, create a new directory. We want to try, we are trying to create a new directory. So mkdir command is helping us to create a new directory in our system. So the syntax is very easy. Mkdir, options, and directories. So directories means the directory name. So what are the options available? -m, -p, and -v. -m is for the mode. What will be the access mode? And what are the modes we know? Just I tell previously sometimes that read, write, execute. Otherwise, all the combination of this particular three modes actually, right? So a -m is to save the access mode for the new directory. -p is to create the intervening parent directories if the doesn't exist. So suppose we are creating a directory, but every directory in the Linux should have a root directory or a parent directory. So if we are creating a new directory that don't have any type of parent directory or a root directory, so by default, a root directory will be intervened here as a parent directory of that particular newly created directory. And -v to print help message for each directory created. So whether our directory was created successfully or not, that is need to be checked. So a print message option, that is -v. So mkdir, a simple command, and the syntaxes are very easy. The examples are much more easy. Suppose we are trying to create a directory that is named test, right? So just a simple thing, mkdir test, mkdir test. By simply writing this particular thing, a new directory is created. mkdir test. By writing this simple thing, a new directory will be created. Create directory and set permission. Mkdir -m. So what is the -m? Set the access mode for the new directories. So the name of the file, that is test, and 666, it is a particular directory. It is a command that has been used here. So this above command is used, that this read write, okay, these options can be written via the binary terms, that is a 666, 00010, anything. So these are the access or the right to privilege. This is the my privilege options that is available here. So mkdir -m, that is the mode or the access mode, or what is the access mode given for the particular directory, that are the options is given, that is 666, means that all the access is given. So read, write, execute, three, both the access have been given here. So this is for the 666, read, write, and execute. The above command is used to create a directory and also the write of the directories. Next one, rmdir. Rmdir is for to remove the directory or to delete a directory and its subdirectories. If we remember, yesterday class we also have a command that is helping us to delete or remove something. Can anyone tell me what is the name of the command? In yesterday class, we also have a directory name, a command name that is helping us to remove or or delete something. So what is the name of the command?
rm command.
rm command. So similarly, we have one more command, that is rmdir, and this rmdir is actually helping us for what? To delete or remove a directory and the subdirectory. So rm may be removing for a file and the subfolders or folders, whatever it is, but rmdir is actually working on the directories. So these small things we need to remember. These are the very small things, but a tricky questions may become. Okay, so rm and rmdir both are doing some removing and deleting, but which is working on what particular purpose, we need to remember this thing. So that's why I said that commands and the syntax are very easy, very easy. That before whatever we are thinking, not to think so much, the written things are very easy. But what we need to do, that we need to memorize that command. What is the command and for what purpose we are using it. So rmdir command is actually removing the directories and the subdirectories, or if any present are. By using simply the rmdir, the total things can be done. Simply the syntax also, we can see that whatever the syntax we are actually looking for every command, very easy. 3 or 4 by words, the commands are completed. The syntax of the commands is completed. So rmdir, the options and the directory name. So only the directory name we need to present. And if I using the rmdir, then rmdir directory. Suppose the test directory we have created previously in the mkdir option. So rmdir test. If I'm trying to write rmdir test, then the total test directory with its subdirectory will be removed or deleted. Will be removed and deleted. Okay. So there is only one option is present, that is -p. Allow user to remove the directory dir name and its parent directories which become empty. So as I said that every directory should have a parent directory. So parent directory means a root directory. Every directory should have a parent directory or a root directory. So here, if we are trying to delete a directory, means the parent directory will become empty. The parent directory will become empty. So example, rmdir, as I said, test. If I am trying to remove the dir directory test, rmdir, so rmdir test is helping us to remove or delete the test directory with all its subdirectory. To delete the directory tree, so rm, actually it will misplace rmdir, the temp to temp may be a directory tree. So all the things is command are relatively to check. Okay, sorry for the network interruption. Okay. Okay, sorry for the network interruption. Now, if anyone have any doubt up to this particular part, they can tell me or ask me whether if you have any doubt or not.
No, sir.
Okay, fine. Now, the next command, that is mv command or move command. mv command is used to move a particular file from one directory to another directory. mv is working on the file. So mv, we are trying to move a file from one directory to another directory. So that's where the mv will be coming. This mv command. So yesterday class also we have a similar command that is also trying to do this particular thing, but not totally, not by moving, but there is a similar type of command is present there. So what is the name of that particular command? Can anyone tell me? Previously in yesterday class also we have discussed a command that is trying to do the similar thing. Means from one directory to another directory, we are trying to copy a file or folder. So what is the name of the command?
cp command.
cp command. So we can say that there are commands are interrelated. So for a particular purpose, quite similar commands are there. But so we have CP command, we have MV command. So MV and CP both are trying to do the same thing. But what is different here? What is different here is that in MV, we are totally moving the file from one directory to another directory. Means if we are using the MV command, then from where we are trying to remove the one direct file or folder from the directory, so the previous directory will not have no longer the file or the folder. But while the CP command, we are trying to copy. So the file will be existing in two places. But where in MV, the file will be exist only in one places, right? So we can say this MV command is similar to a cut option in Windows, right? Are you agree that a MV command is trying to be a cut option in our Windows? We are trying to cut a file from one location and it is pasting to another location, whereas the CP command is a copy option, we can say, of the Windows, right? So MV and CP. What are the options available? MV minus F minus I, old name and new name. MV minus F minus I, old name and new name. So minus F, this minus F will not prompt before overwriting or moving any file, whereas minus I will prompt before overwriting another file. So minus F, if we are trying to copy a file from one directory to another directory, maybe the file was previously present there to the new directory where we are trying to copy. So this, if we are using a minus F option, so it will not prompt the user that whether the file is present already and it needs to be replaced or not. But in case of if you are using a minus I command, a prompt message will be there for the user that there is already a file, similar file name is present. So whether we want to replace it or not. So these are the example that move file1.txt, move file2.txt. So this command mv file1.txt and file2.txt, which is doing just a simply rename the file1.txt as file2.txt. So suppose the file1, it is a file, and this mv command will help us to rename this particular file1 to file2.txt. File2.txt. This is a simple move or rename particular part. Move a directory mv hscript temp. So this mv command, this hscript and temp, all the things are related. So this temp is a directory, temp is a directory, and maybe this hscript is a file or folder of the directory. This hscript is a file or folder of the directory. So in this above particular command, we can say what is actually happening here, that is to moving all the files, directories and the subdirectories from the hscript folder to the temp directory. So as I said, this temp may be a directory and this hscript is the file or folder of the directory. Hscript is the file and folder of the directory. So there will be no temp directory. It renames the hscript directory as the temp directory. So the total thing will be renamed and the one will be deleted. To move multiple files at the same time, that is file1.txt as a temp, file2.txt as a new dir. So just writing all the things by giving a front slash. So this is the simpler way to write a particular command, right? Next. Different command. Different command is actually saying what? It is used to find the differences between two files. So there may be some difference presented between two files. So what are the differences between two files? If we are trying to find out this particular thing, then this different command will be used to find the differences between two files. This different command will be used to find the differences between two files. The syntax is different options from file to file. So we need to write the file name and the options. There are multiple options are present. We can see there are multiple options are present. Treat all files as text and compare them line by line. Treat all files as text and compare them line by line. Minus B, ignore changes in amount of white space. Minus C, use the context output format. So there are several options are available. So what is the options? What is the purpose of the options? It has been written there, so no need to read this particular thing. Okay, the reading you can see that it is written there. So I will not read again for you people. As you can see that we are going to check the examples. So we can see there are a lot of options are available. So we are going to check the examples one by one, right? So suppose to check the things, to compare between the files, first we need to have two files. Okay, so suppose I'm starting from the basics, that whether I'm thinking of there is no files are available. So first we need to create two files. Suppose a file name is file1.txt, another one is a file2.txt. And in the file1.txt there are some informations are present, and in the file2.txt there are some information are present. So file1.txt, what are the information is present? We can see in this particular part, these are the file1.txt options or things have been present, and in file2 these are these options are available, message is available. Now to compare, so using the options we need to compare the things. So compare by using the first things, that is ignoring the white space. So if I'm trying to ignoring the white space, what is the thing? That is minus B. So we are trying to ignoring the ignoring the past things, or sorry, ignoring the option is available, that is ignores compare files ignoring the white spaces. So we are trying to compare the lines. There are lines are available, right? There are lines are available. So there can be either minus B option, or there is one more option, that is minus W, that is ignore white space, the comparing line. Ignore white space, that is by comparing lines. So this minus W option is available or used here. Minus W option is used here, that is difference, the command, that is difference, we are using the command minus W file1.txt file2.txt file1.txt file2.txt. This file1 and file2.txt, now using this difference command with the help of minus W option, we'll try to compare between each other and what are the options or what is the thing. So we can see after comparing the file1 and file2, it will produce some following output. What is the output? 2C2, that is less than hscript.com, greater than hscript.com, 433. So these are some output that is presented or that is generated by the different command, right? So lines have been set up. So how many lines are there? So we can see the data has been different. So that's why comparing this particular thing, the data is providing some output, and what is the differences between presented there. So these things will be much easier. What is the output, why this is coming, these outputs will be much easier to understand in the practical part, right? So this example we am going to discuss again in the practical part, while trying to write this particular command and all the things, we can see the outputs and we can visualize that what is the things is there, right? So these are minimum options are available. So this is a thing we are going to check. This particular difference command, the outputs is a little bit tricky, so we are going to check it in the laboratory part to understand it much more better, way, right? Now chgroup command, to change the user or the permission of the group file or directory, to change the permission or the group file or the directory. So it is also an admin or system command. It is an admin or system command, and only the system administrator or the root user have the privilege to change it, So syntax is very easy, that is chgroup. Options, new group, file name, directory, similar to the options that is for chmod, right? So a chgroup and chmod is all about the same thing. CH group and CH mod is almost the same thing. Okay, so no need to discuss on this. So these are the simpler things. These are some file commands available. So these are the options we are going to see in the example laboratory part. Okay, so don't need to discuss these particular things here. So we have discussed about the file utilities. We have discussed about some system utilities command. There are also another command that is available, that is for the process utilities command, for the network command. These are the commands is also available are there. Okay, so system and file related command, the security commands that we have discussed here today, right? Okay, so one thing that before continuing, I would like you people to write your names in the chat box so that no one can miss your attendance. So this thing you people do quickly, because in the end, when the test time ends, so there will be a hectic situation. So there's some time, some 5 minutes are left. So you people write down your names in the chat box for the attendance purpose. Okay. So next command that we are going to talk here, that is the process utilities. Process for each and everything. What is a process? First, before going to the process utilities, one thing we need to remember, that I think you people have learned this particular process in operating system. So I think you will have operating system in your 4th semester, right? So can anyone tell me what is a process? What is a process? Anyone? What is the process? No one have any answer?
Sir,
For
any program.
yes, Siaram.
So any program which is in executing phase is known as process.
Okay, so any program that is in an executing phases, that is called a process, right? So one thing we can say here, that process, we can say a process when it is following some sequential order, means it is maintaining a sequential way, or it is following the processes, it is following the way by which the task can be executed, the task can be completed. This is called a process. So an important thing is here for the process, that the following the sequence to finish or complete the task, following a sequence to finish or complete the particular task is known as the process. So this process, as we are talking about this process, we are discussing about this process, that is the process need to be monitored. The process need to be monitored. So the monitoring of the process is done by this process commands. The monitoring of the processes is done by this particular process commands. So process status, the PS is the short form, is the process status. So what's process, what process is in which condition right now, we need to check and we need to monitor that. So that's why it is called a process status. So every process, every individual process have a process status, and the system and the root system is actually monitoring each and every process status, at which particular phase the process is there. So process, there is a syntax, that is the PS option. So we just writing the PS options, the several options are present here. The options will help us to locate or to monitor the processes. This option will help us to monitor the processes. That is -A, list information about all the processes most frequently for the requesting, accept group leaders, minus capital A, that is the information of all process, minus D is for exception leaders, minus E about every process is now running, minus F generates a full listing. So these are the options available under this process PS part. So PS part is helping us to maintain or to monitor the status of the process, monitor the status of the process. So just if we're writing the simply command of the PS, so we can see that there are some current running processes. What are the processes that is running? The details of that particular processes is given. So simply writing by PS command, if whatever the processes are running is there, so this particular output or the things will be available or things will be displayed. Similarly, for PS minus F, the full information about the current running process, what is the process that is running currently, the total information will be displayed. Kill command was used to kill the background processes. So these are okay. We are not going to check for the kill command. We are going to stop for the PS command today. So kill command, it is a new topic that we are going to discuss from the later classes. Okay, so this is up to the part we are going to discuss today. And if anyone have any doubts, any query regarding this, if anyone don't understand anything, then they can tell me or ask me, as there are some few times are left. Some things may be not clear to you people, but it will definitely be clear when we will visualize these things in the lab part. When we are running the particular code, we are actually doing it, and then we can see that yes, this is actually what is the output, what is the purpose. So some things may be not clear, but it will be very clear to you when we are in the laboratory part. So otherwise, if anyone have any doubts, they can tell me or ask me. Okay, because time is very much less, some few seconds are left. Okay, by the time, the thing is that
Sir,
yes, sir. Yes. Yes.
sir, why CH mode use 666 plus
So this 666, yes,
X?
as I said there, the 666 is the permission. What is the permission is actually given there. The permission particular thing is given, that 666 is actually displaying the permission file. So 666 means that all user can write and read but cannot execute the file folder. If there is a 777, then it is that only user allows to do all the functions. So these 66677 are the options or the read write, the binary or the now numeric term of read write options.
Sir, there are only two options, 666